Mirror selfies are a popular trend in social media. But how to pose, how to do it right, how to really connect through one photo. If you want to improve your overall result, this video is for you. Hello Shutterbox, I'm bonnierzmteam and I share tips and tricks on how to look, but especially how to feel amazing in photos. If you want to learn more, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I make videos every week. We communicate through video and photography in social media. We connect with people that we haven't seen in a long time. And it's not new that selfies are a great way to do this. Some people love them, some people hate them, but they're here and they're here to stay. And even though that selfies can feel a little bit informal, it still has one key component, and that's body language. Body language is 53% of our communication. So it is a very powerful tool to use, especially when we're communicating through just one photo. In this video, I'm going to share with you a couple poses that are really going to empower you, step up your game, make you feel very comfortable in front of the camera in this season. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a very fun activity. Last week we had a challenge that it was how to make your Instagram feed look amazing, and I'm gonna leave you the link in the description box if you want to check it out after this video. So now let's start. The box effect. Fall, it's one of my favorite seasons, but it also means that we start layering clothes. It's not cold enough that you are like super poof, but it's not hot enough that we can actually show our curves and all this, because we start layering clothes. What really happens is that we start getting this box effect. So if we're wearing a coat, we start losing our shape and it becomes more like just one line, and it's really not as attractive in photos. To solve this problem, the only thing that you need to do is to showcase your curve the right way. The way to do it, you put your hand on your waist inside your coat. Because if you do it outside your coat, it's still, you're gonna get some shape, but it's not gonna be as marked as when it's really inside the coat. Plus, it's not cold enough that you really need to cover yourself that much. And there are other tricks that you can do during winter. And let me know in the comments if you want me to address those when we're a little bit closer to that season. But in the meantime, it's pretty much okay to do this. In this particular case, I have a dress that also, if I don't move my legs, it's gonna still look boxy in a way. So by opening my leg a little bit, it's not only looks a little bit more appealing and sexy and like things are happening, but also you're showcasing your curves and really showing your silhouette. As you can see, there's a little bit of hip movement right there that it gets very interesting, and it also gives you more of a feminine look. Classic that works. One of the main struggles that I hear a lot, it's Bonnie, I don't know what to do with my hands. They've been there my whole life, and when I'm gonna take a photo, it's just weird and I don't know what to do with them. And this classic pose, you can use them really when you have pockets, either on a dress or with your jeans or whatever. And this is why I'm giving you different kind of poses so you don't rely only in one. But this one, it's really basic and it's gonna make you look more relaxed, more empowered per se in front of the camera. What you really need to do, it's again, open legs, which is, you're gonna see this theme going around really because it kind of like position yourself. It's a position of power, right? If you want to look slimmer, you can go a little bit of an angle. Or if the shape of your pants bother you a little bit, and this is something that we talk about in this channel, that it's fashion in photography, how items really translate in the final photo. So in this particular case, maybe when you're walking around or just standing, it doesn't really look that way, but when you're adding pressure, it does have like some sort of weird shape. So if you go on an angle, you avoid that general shape, and when you put your hand on your pocket, you're definitely relaxing your shoulders, and this can go a long way, looking very tense to looking very relaxed and empowered. I would love to know in the comment section which ones are your struggles with selfies. Let me know in the comments, and the comments that get more likes, I'm gonna make a video about that particular question in the channel. Double trouble. A big problem in photos can be to feel awkward, and I want you really to know that this is completely normal. Taking photos becomes like a moment in time, and you prepare yourself for this photo. Yes, if you are like in paparazzi mode, it might be different, but normally it is like, now we're gonna take a photo. Let me know if you agree with this in the comments. So it's normal that you feel a little bit tense. If one of my clients, or even myself, if I feel tense for any reason, I really like to sit down, because it kind of gives me like a secure base, and I'm not standing there like trying to figure it out. It kind of goes things more into place. So take advantage of that, and you can go on the floor and just put both of your legs a little bit up. There, you're making triangles with your legs, and relax your arms for a more natural look. This is gonna look more casual, but again, empower, because you really know what you're doing with your body, and elegant. The touch of elegant is to be very aware of your posture. Elongate your neck, don't be afraid to shine. But first, coffee. I feel like we all seen this photo where we are holding a cup and looking nowhere really. And that's fine, that actually works pretty well in many photos. But something that you really need to note there is that you're really telling a story, taking your selfie to, let's say, another level. When we take mirror selfies, we're showcasing our day, what's really happening. Maybe you stop by and be like, oh, this is the look of the day, or this, but I'm working, doing something else, etc. So adding this little prop can really not only give you some sort of action, but also it can make it look more like a story, which is make things a little bit more interesting. In this particular pose, again, giving an angle, opening legs, and holding my mug actually transform something that is pretty casual to more like a boss lady. Plus, I think that it really depends on the kind of cup that you pick. It might tell even more of a story. In this case, I'm holding the one of TikTok, and as you know, I'm a complete fan, ambassador TikTok. So it does tell a story, and I feel like I have a collection of cups with stories. So yeah, definitely use this as a prop, and it can really help to, again, a relaxed, comfortable look in front of the camera, in front of your mirror. Also, if you notice, I'm taking a photo with the frontal camera, which gives me a little bit more of quality when I'm taking selfies. I have a video on common selfie mistakes, and I'm gonna leave you the link in the description box or somewhere here, so you can check it out later on. The studio effect. Normally, when I'm working with clients in the studio, we usually use a couple items that really, again, tell a story, but also makes my client feel a little bit more comfortable. And this particular item, you will see it all the time, everywhere in portrait photography. And this is a stool. First, it's amazing because you're sitting down again, feeling more comfortable, but also these kind of chairs have lines that make things more interesting. It doesn't mean that you can use another kind of chair. Actually, I'm going to show you another example with another kind of chair later on. But stools have something that make things elegant. Plus, it is very editorial. When you're sitting down, get comfortable, but not too comfortable, because then you can look a little bit shy, and this gesture in general is just being uncomfortable and shy. So just go very long and set one of your feet in a different level. Again, you're starting to create lines, still look elegant. And one of the things that I like is that if one of your legs is down, you can even look longer. So that's a very interesting effect. head to toes. This pose, I will say it's a little bit more risky. It's also gonna make you look, again, longer and elegant, but it might be a little bit more complicated or a little bit more advanced because you're doing like many things in one pose. So one, it's that you're touching your hair, making a triangle with your arm, but you're also crossing your legs, which tends to make your legs look longer. If you put your phone a little bit down, it actually is gonna make it even look longer. If this is something that you're interested in because you're sure and you want to look long, then this is a good trick. This kind of pose particularly, it's not that it's super complex. It does require a little bit of practice, so you feel comfortable right there to start doing it and mimicking something that it might look a little bit more editorial. Even though that it's a mirror selfie and it's very chill, it might look a little bit extra, but you know, sometimes we're extra and that's fine. Glam with lines. As you see, with a completely different chair, if you're sitting down and you're just frontal and slouchy, you can make a good photo frontal, and I can make another video about that if you want me to. But if you go on the side, it's a little bit easier to see lines. Also, during fall, we tend to use like these sweaters that don't really have a lot of shape. The position of my arms, try to avoid that puffiness and try to make it more into curves. That is really directly connected with the shape of the clothes that we're wearing. Practice. One of the things is that if you heard all these tips and you don't practice any of them, then you're not really gonna remember what to do when you're in that situation. So the best way is to practice a little bit before and then go for it. It's just gonna feel more natural. So the exercise of the day will be: go through the video, take a photo of your favorite pose. Please tag me on Instagram because I would love to know which one is your favorite pose at bonnierzmteam. Then the second step is just that you're gonna practice that pose in front of the mirror and see how comfortable you feel doing this pose. If you feel comfortable enough, just repeat it a couple times till it's completely natural for you and you really remember how the pose feels, so you can replicate it with no problem in the future. And then finally, when you have your beautiful result, please tag me again to @bonnierzmteam because I would love to share your results with this beautiful community. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like so I know I can make more videos like this. Remember, you're beautiful and special. See you next time.